I remember when life was better. I remember like I've been alive forever. I remember being born in abundance you never measure. Predecessor from the epicenter, the genetic mecca. I'm a representative of the metal netter. You dead if you never met her. The devil, he never fed her. I protect the treasure, then the presence entered. Kemet was never desert. Do the rain dance, make the weather wetter. A crown is a head antenna. Call me Imhotep, the architect. I'm clever, break a temple down and put it back together. I remember I was royalty, from the soil where the oil be. Never let the bigger man in me grow from the little boy in me. Been a victim of my loyalty, let my ego kill the joy in me. That's what ended up destroying me. I forgot the Lord anointed me. I forgot that I was God. I forgot that I was free. I forgot that I was king of the jungle until I remembered I'm me.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions. It's Brother Rich with Brother Rich, aka Father Rich, aka Black Magic. Loaded Lux and Red Pill, man.
Yeah.
Late night session.
Facts. I'll be watching these guys,
Summer
man.
nights, NYC.
I'm honored.
Listen, we just shot a mini documentary with Lux, Red Pill. It's gonna be featured on the my album with Cambatta.
Yeah,
We're talking about,
edition.
huh?
The deluxe edition.
The deluxe edition.
Yeah, no pun intended.
The deluxe USB. Hold that right real quick, Red. Show the deluxe USB edition. It's too dark. They can't even see that, but it's all good.
Yeah, this is the future though.
We'll show that later on. But listen, we're talking about the impact of music, lyrics, the beats, rhymes, all of that. Master P was recently on the Breakfast Club and he talked about ownership. We all know hip hop, this black culture, this culture that impacts the entire world, unlike no other culture, is dominated by people that didn't create the culture and are not the participants of the culture. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird. It's not even that, it's like, say we go into Jewish or Irish culture. What's that dance they do? The river dance?
The river dance, yeah.
And,
certain folk dances.
They go around the world performing river dances, right?
Yes.
And after they perform, black people profit the majority of the money from the river dance. They have a right as a culture to say, we should, we need to take control over our own culture.
But of course.
That's right.
So when we talk like that, people automatically want us to think we're racist, want us to make we think we're wrong for thinking that way, but every culture thinks that way.
That's right.
Every culture every race thinks that way. But they want to trick us. So with that being said, Master B's talking about ownership.
Yeah.
Talk to me about owning hip hop. How can we, in the era of streaming, in the era of the gatekeepers are not as active as they have been in the past, how can we take back ownership, y'all?
I feel like I should have had a normal
And the reason why, check this out. On top of that,
I got the normal natural shirts. Like,
well, I'm gonna set it off and say that in this new digital age of entertainment, the ability and the possibility to be an owner of your intellectual property and your rights has increased.
Different now. It's different.
It's a lot different now. Yeah. The possibility of having a product that you created, you and your team, your producers, your management, the artists and whatnot, and then going into a digital distribution deal with somebody like Empire or one of the other digital distribution conglomerates. I believe Orchard was one before, Orchard, and things of that nature. Yeah. Basically, or going through like a DistroKid or whatnot, and then having digital distribution, which kind of is different than what we were doing in DVD, CD days, with physical distribution, where you had warehouses, and the warehouses had to press the actual CD from a master, and then those warehouses were somewhat geolocated, so you had a warehouse in the south, you had a warehouse on the west, you had a warehouse on the east coast. They're shipping your DVD to Sam Goody, DMV and all of that. I mean,
That's why dudes were signing them deals.
HMV, yeah, but that's coming out of your budget.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, you gotta pay that back.
You gotta pay that back if they're taking it from a warehouse in the West and they're distributing it to the East Coast, you're paying a higher premium. So with digital distribution, that cut all of that out. That alleviated it because we're talking about bits versus atoms. The long tail versus the physical world. Click and order versus brick and mortar. Two completely different formulas, two completely different realities, two completely different bottom lines. The shit done changed. We are currently living in the business model, or we are currently living in the quote unquote potentiality that artists of a law of before only dreamed about.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo,
right?
Like the fact that you said that though, because it's like that old model is still, that the concept is still in a lot of artists' minds. You know what I mean?
Fact.
They haven't even awakened to the realization of, like, you don't gotta do it that way, loved one. Like, but I think it's a lot of niggas be attracted to the bright lights and shit. Like for real. Like it's a different temperament, you know what I'm saying? Right now. To where, like how you said earlier, Rich, talking about the Dame Dash seed that he planted, and being your own boss, man. Being like, that was a beautiful thing that he laid out for people to get that inculcation, like, cause that's what you need at this point. You need to be militant about ownership. You know what I mean? So to have that implanted in your mind and not be lazy about going the whole way through, though. You see what I'm saying? Dudes don't want to go, and that's the only thing to where they cutting themselves short. Because
ownership and
everything, man.
And bossing, and owning one's intellectual property, and you're owning, not only do you own your property, you own your career.
Yeah.
But when you own your career and you own your masters, keyword master, you have to be a master of your career. And you have to be a master of self, because what does the label afford you? When I was in the label, it was basically like they teach you in acting class, where they tell you to fall backwards and somebody's gonna catch you. But they teach you how to trust your team workers, the people who are working with you. They teach you how to fall back and don't worry, because we got you. And that's what the industry and that's what corporate America provides. That you could fall, and all of these white hands, I'm just saying proverbial, all of these hands are catching you. The art department, oh, I can't draw. Oh, the art department got you on that. Oh, I don't got enough time to distribute my CD physically to all of these stores. Well, distribution got you like that. Oh, I don't have a relationship with the radio. Well, the radio department got you like that. Oh, Ralph McDaniels doesn't answer my calls. Well, the video department got you. All of these different departments. Case in point, why the artist gets like 2 cents off of a $20 album.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because when they show you the pie and how it's breaking down, it's all of these people taking mastery over things that you and your team could put on your shoulders and carry yourself.
Word.
So to say I'm independent, or to say that I'm doing on my own, it sounds cute, but are you willing to back that up with the action, the blood, sweat, and tears, and all of the sacrifice that it's gonna take to make an independent artist a millionaire? Because what P and them was doing by popping the trunk back in the days and getting it in, where you could press 500 CDs at $20 a pop, and you knew how to do that math in your head, and then people was susceptible because the shit wasn't saturated and everybody wasn't out there trying to sell out the trunk. It worked back then for him.
Right. Cut out the middleman.
Cut out the middleman. New business model. CDs is not selling. DVDs don't sell no more.
Word.
You know what I'm talking about?
Word.
It's a streaming model. YouTube is robbing you. Spotify, Tidal, and a lot of
the biggest robber.
Well, Spotify's the biggest. No, YouTube is the one they said.
More than Spotify?
Yes, and then Spotify comes in. Tidal, they said, is at the top for giving back to the artists and whatnot. You know what I mean? But now you have an artist such as a Loaded Lux. He has a project, or he's building up multiple projects.
Talk dirty.
You know what I'm talking about? He's building up.
What day, my brother? What day is that? Is it gonna be released?
Part 2 coming out August 10th. Part 1 is out right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So he has the ability now. He has the freedom and he has the quote unquote wherewithal to put out as many products or projects as his creative mind could come up with. And he could flood iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, you name it, Napster. It's a lot of these stores. And if an artist is able to project their numbers, if an artist is able to strategize, if an artist is able to create compelling content, you have a permanent, what is known as, you have a permanent retirement plan. Why? Because your album is always gonna stream. Your content will always stream. You always gonna get a check. You know what I'm saying? So now, you
cool with the streaming thing? Because some artists complain about it. Are y'all cool with that? Like Apple?
I would say as a viable business plan to offset not doing nothing, and to the fact that you could be on the corner trying to sell those 500 CDs and only sell 5 of them. I would say that I would definitely be a part of that streaming business model, because all music is being streamed now. But then on the flip side of that, I'm also saying to become innovative and to become very, you're inside of a new boom. You're inside of the Wild Wild West when it was just mad empty. You see those old pictures of old Vegas when it was just building up? You have the opportunity to build your own Venetian, your own Steve Wynn hotel. You could build on that goddamn desert. Case translation, you have the opportunity to create anything of $1 billion plan right now because it's right.
Yeah, that's a fact. Ain't hold you with that. Like right now is definitely a time for as far as independent artists. You just gotta be disciplined enough to do it. Like go the whole way. Nobody's in your way, and that's what the thing. It's balanced with everything. You know what I mean? Because they provide you a service, and at the end of the day, you got a choice. You know what I mean? And those choices is gonna lead up to the results that you get. So I would just say for all artists out there, you know what I mean, be mindful where you want your music to go. You know what I mean? Know the services. Know it to the T. When you speak about what's fair, it's at the end of the day you got a choice. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of catalysts. From one point to the next is catalysts. As like right now, you know what I mean? What we going through, obviously, we going through it, but it will improve in the future. You know what I mean? You just got to stay the course. You know what I mean? But use the technology. You know what I'm saying? Just know your worth. You know what I mean? And stick to your truth. And I think you'll be all right. I think the worst case scenario is when people don't know everything that they're getting into, and then once they wake up to it, realize, oh my goodness, that sounded a bad deal. But from the door, you should have been more militant about, how you was working that out. And I think once they find out midway through, I signed this away, I signed that, that's where the problem comes in. So you are always your first defense. I'm gonna say that to all artists. You always your first defense. And then after you assess, what you want to do with your projects, your music, and live your truth, man.
It's like a bad first night stand. You know what I'm talking about? If you slip up, my nigga, you can't reverse that. So if you put your John Hancock on that contract, they caught you on the second thirsty day. You was an FDR, you was a first day rip. They saw the thirst in you on the first day and got you.
Sheesh.
You came in there, they saw, this nigga look hungry. They hit you with the thump, and then everything else after that, for that 5 years that you signed your freedom and your life and your rights away, you on that strip, you on the track. Right. So you know what I mean? I hope you don't look worn out after that 5 years, because they gonna work you. And then if you learned the game, hopefully you didn't abuse anybody else and try to, because you see that a lot. Niggas get raped and then they start raping and whatnot, and catch some of the young little, J Hoods of the world. I don't, anyway. they catch them up in that web and whatnot, and it's an ugly game. But we're in a transitional period inside of the entertainment industry, not only the music industry. We live in a day and time where there's a phrase that you should basically not just hear, but you should really contemplate it and its content is king. I remember reading that in a Wired magazine in 2004,
Wow.
and it stayed with me. It said content is king.
That's 2004?
In 2004 in the Wired magazine. So with these cameras that we have, remember, the game is been democratized. It's been layered, meaning that little old me, I have the same tools in my possession than somebody who's cutting at BT networks.
Right. That's he couldn't have said it no better. True story. All you need is a few good men. You hear me, loved one?
You know what I'm talking about?
Some people that's serious, man, about learning this game with you, and they gonna go at it as pertinacious as you will.
That's right.
As being in the forefront. I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you.
I'm at seeing it's the same dudes. It's the same. There's no separation. Same way you can sit at your laptop, boom, 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 boom. It's the same people in them offices.
It's the same thing. And the irony in the whole thing is this, that if you really look at it, it's these younger artists that people say can't teach them nothing. They are the ones. Their minds are not. They're not these older rappers. So these teenagers are coming into the game with a digital mind state, and they're learning about the empires of the world. Go and look at Empire's roster. Everybody on that roster is eating big checks. They eating big bags. You understand? Go and look at the roster of other digital distribution things. I read something called a little pump plan. They have an actual 10-step plan on how to make the next little pump, right? These are formulas that they've figured out, and they're following them. And these are these young rappers who people say are mumbling and they on lean and they don't know nothing. But they know, and I'm gonna say this, I don't wanna leak nobody's, I don't wanna leak Cambatta's jewels that he dropped to me. But he said, I know a nigga that dropped 800 songs on Spotify. If he only get $1 a song a month, he still pay his rent.
Make a lot of sense.
He got 800 songs. They can't stop you from uploading songs. He has 800 songs on the digital streaming networks. He's getting a check from about 10 platforms for those different songs. 3 times a month, it adds up. He said that's his retirement plan. He's not following the rules that the old paradigm wrote for him. This is not, the rules have been made to broken.
This is something different.
This is something different.
Yeah.
This is a whole new paradigm. And we have to approach it like them little Africans in them goddamn junkyards be approaching problems, and they building spaceships with parts.
That was fuel to the fire right there.
You know what I'm saying? We have to be innovative the same way that Herc was innovative, the same way that Grandmaster Flash was innovative. They were those young kids in the shanty town inside of the goddamn, you know what I mean? Inside of the parts and whatnot. And they started scratching and mixing and coming up with the break beat. We of this new digital generation have to be innovative. If it's not our young ones, our children, or the young homies or the little homies, it needs to be us. But this at this juncture right here, we're in a time, in a day and age where we could bend the spoon. Everything is all of this program could be rewritten. All of the algorithms could be tweaked. It's open source at this point. So hack the fucking code. And when I say hack, I mean to solve the problem. That's what hack means. It don't mean nothing illegal. Hack you know how they have life hackers and whatnot? Hack the game, because this is a video game. Bandersnatch. Get the cheat codes and hack it. That's it. Don't come into this shit with no morality. Don't come into this with the old group of, with the 10 commandments. It doesn't work anymore. We're in a new game. Right?
The game, man.
Don't tell no little kid, don't get face tats and colorful braids and whatnot and start mumbling and go into a melodic beat. He's gonna do that because he figured out that's what's streaming. You know what I'm talking about? And it's the attention economy.
It's crazy you said that though, because I remember, because then at the same time, we do gotta keep a balance. Because one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, I do know is living your truth. I mean, just as far as artists are concerned, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Me as like an artist, I've never had more satisfactory than putting something out there that came from the soul, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna say this, I remember I seen Cardi had dropped something. Cardi B had said, I think it was an Instagram post or something like that. She said, I would have, I don't know, she said she would have went that way, but her reason for her content was because nobody else was listening to anything else. You know what I mean? She had to gravitate to that move to get the attention. So that's her playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's her playing the game. I will say though, in playing the game, you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to cipher for yourself. You know what I mean? What you totally in it for, because there's a know-how to do it, and then once you know how to do it, because that's what we talking about. We talking about figure that out.
Figure that out.
You know what I mean? How to move your product, how to get the best out of you, you know, giving your service, you know what I mean, to the world. So figure that out, how to get back off of that. It's just the mechanism, how to go about that. But then after that, you know what I'm saying? Why you doing it? Your why, you know what I mean? That's where you gotta decide that.
You know, and my last question for y'all would be, you know, in terms of commerce in the society we live in and the way culture is, you know, you make something I like, I give you money for it, you know, because you gave me a certain content, a certain feeling, a certain vibe, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's an exchange.
Right.
A lot of people complain about what we call conscious people, because a lot of people feel as though conscious people have such a bad relationship with money where they don't want to exchange the fiat, the money, for a certain talent, a certain gift their artists or their whoever may have. Whereas what we call ratchet culture and the culture we criticize on a daily basis, they'll give up $500 for a Kanye West t-shirt with just with a cross on it, just to say they went to the concert. Right. So they have no problem participating in the commerce game. But the people, like let's say Lux is a conscious rapper, they will say that a conscious fan don't want to participate in to the extent where they're gonna give the same amount of money as a Kanye West fan. Do you think that's a reality? Is it a myth? And is it a problem?
Yeah, I mean, man, people are brand orientated, man. That's what it comes down to. And I got a lot to, you know, people doing what they know. And that's what it is, though. People doing what they know. They may not got the concept of what it is to
learn behavior.
Yeah, a lot of it is learned behavior. I think we need more of awareness what it is when you exchange in commerce, because money is energy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Strictly, yeah. Straight energy.
Money currency is a currency.
It's a currency. So when you understand me giving you my blood, sweat, and tears, excuse me, and you know what I mean, we using this physical form, this money, you know what I mean, tangibly as an exchange for that, it just comes with the territory. But I think you need to understand what it is when you subscribe to certain artists, what they're giving you. You know what I mean? For real, it's like you can't really put a price tag on it, but it's like, you know what I mean? We live off energy, man. The
That's
energy
right.
is everything. So why wouldn't you know what I mean? You want to support somebody who's giving you a vibe.
But Lux, if this is energy, we live off energy. Why the people that study energy the most don't get what the people that study energy the least get? The people that study energy the least give up the money, but the people that study energy the most don't give up the money. It's the weirdest shit in the world.
Yeah, if that's going on, man, listen, man, let's
it could be the paralysis of analysis.
Right,
you know,
right.
Those, you know, we're talking about sometimes the ignorantly blissful tend to do things, you know, subconsciously or ignorantly.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, you vote with your dollar. So you don't have to be at a certain level of your IQ to be like, yo, Lil Wayne pulling up, oh, I'm gonna pay that 40 because he's gonna provide me an experience. That experience is called the turn up. That experience is called I'm gonna be lit while that nigga stands on a bar at Live, popping bottles. It's something that I could remember. It's something that I could always, you know what I mean? This is an experience that I'm gonna take with me. Oh, they gonna be at the Barclays? I'm gonna be at the Barclays.
Right,
oh, they gonna be at the Garden, nigga. Oh, they gonna be at the Meadowlands Summer Jam, nigga. I'm pulling up. Oh, the baby coming through to New York, Meg Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? Like, people see you online, you lit, you have controversy or you have a buzz to your name, so they want to live vicariously through that buzz.
Yeah.
So if you pull up somewhere and you buzzing, your attractiveness, you're a magnet. You pulling the shorties out. You pulling the goons out. You pulling niggas that I probably haven't seen in a long time out. I'm going to get me a fresh fit. I'm going to pull some bread out of the stash, and I'm going to have me a great experience. Is that necessarily tied into what conscious artists are bringing to the table? Because I just laid out, you know, a regular, you know, this is a regular fans.
Right.
This is a formula that attracts fans, that they want to have an experience. So my question with a conscious artist and conscious music, what is the experience? What are they selling us? What are they gonna, if I go, cause I know if I go to Erykah Badu concert, I'm gonna be around some shorties they got the head wrap.
Right.
You know, she gonna
Talk
sip
about
some
Tyrone?
tea.
You gonna talk
know what
about
I mean?
Tyrone?
Tyrone is gonna come on. There's gonna be some patchouli in the air. Some incense are gonna be burning. I'm gonna have a Badu experience.
So it's on the artist to create that, you think? Like
Definitely.
the conscious artist. So what you're
Definitely.
saying
They have
is
to
that
sell a lifestyle.
The conscious artists aren't selling a lifestyle that Amigos is selling?
I don't want to go to a concert to protest.
You don't want to say that again.
Complain.
You don't.
I don't want to go
to a concert to protest. What do you want to go to a concert for?
To wig out.
To wig out.
To let the rhythm
and what
take
you're
me
saying
over.
is that conscious artists are not providing that.
Now you.
Not
What about
entirety.
Public Enemy?
Yeah, they are an exception, but they are a classic group. So, you know, I will go and deal with Public Enemy. The experience that I will have will be to tap into my nostalgia of listening to them when I was 11, 12, and 13 years old.
Right.
That's what they do for me.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
I think like the conscious community needs to understand. I think they got a concept of we should be bigger than money, and
Yeah, we're made out of stardust. We're bigger than fiat.
Right. And though that may be the case, I mean, you're entitled to that. Listen, man, it is what it is, man. We all here. And listen, man, you say you got love for what it is we do in terms of a culture, then you got to support that culture. How you say you vote with your dollar, Rich?
Yeah.
You got to support, loved one. If you don't like hearing this or hearing that, I'm telling you, because I know a lot of these platforms, they don't got no bias. They just like, look, man, the interest is here.
If you hot,
I hear you, man,
we'll
with all
rock
of that
with you.
shit, but the numbers is right here. So what you want me to do?
That's right.
So conscious community, man, like if you feel you don't like certain messages that's coming through, you know, certain mediums, well then you got to, you see something, say something, man. You got to stand up, vote with your buck. Look, man, I want to hear this guy, I want to hear that guy, and then support them. We got to support one another.
Vote with your eyeballs.
Yeah, man.
If y'all don't even got it, you might be going through the angry phase of consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
where
bugging.
you want
That's the craziest, yo.
You not out. You ain't getting no money or nothing. You just mad at everything and everybody, and you on your victim. You can still pay with your eyeballs. So where sister like
share a video.
Share a
what I'm
video.
saying.
Yeah.
Video.
You not spend no money, man.
where a sister like Cyrock, right? Fire. But it took her to get that 2 million when she went and got with that label and they spread her out to a bigger crowd. You mean to tell me it wasn't 2 million of us that was ready to view her videos when she was just with Soul Messiah and it was all black?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? But she had to get co-signed and then she had to stand in front of audiences in Oregon and other places where they don't look like us.
Yeah.
And now she's popping because they behind her. They voting with their dollar. They voting with their eyeballs. They giving her those numbers. With those numbers,
Right.
I get 2 million organic on a video. I know how to go into bigger places and cook now. Because at the end of the day, my $1 million question to the conscious community would be, who are you rooting for? You hate everybody? You know what I'm talking about? Who are you rooting for? Because Waka Flocka, Migos, you know what I'm saying? Meg Thee Stallion, all of them is doing 20 million and up. The babies is watching them. Niggas' grandmamas is watching them. Teenagers, people from Hungary, the Swedish is watching them. The Asians is watching them. The Indians is watching them. Koreans. My thing is this. What do we have to do to achieve a global presence, a global empire? I'm on my dapper shit. I'm on my dapper Dan shit. China. I'm looking at India. I'm looking at Africa. I'm looking at a global presence because we're global. And if you're a conscious artist, globally, your message of love and intelligence should supersede somebody talking about whipping in a bando, because they don't got bandos in Sweden like that.
It's a fact, man. Listen, man. Look, I am Lord of Lux and everything, not to cut the bro wisdom, everything. He said, look, man, what's understood don't really need to be said, man. Conscious community know what's up. You know truth. I'm just saying, after all the information, because this is like everybody got all the information, then it's activity.
That's right.
What you doing, man? That's bottom line, man. I'm about to, I gotta bust a move, Rich, real quick. But listen, I just wanted to say that, like, truth be told, we got all the information in the world when it comes to the conscious community. What is you doing? What's the application with all of that? Show some love for real, for real. You want that message and that vibe out there.
Say that website again, my brother?
And IamLoadedLux.com. And I Am Loaded Lux is the same for all the social media platforms. Talk 32 is on the way, August 10th. You know what I'm saying? Summer Impact, man.
That's your album?
Watch me and Hollow work. Yo, my album dropping, Talk 32 is gonna drop on the same day as that, August 10th. That's a Snapple top fact, and it's gonna be healthy.
Yes,
You already.
Oh, man.
Red, give your info.
Me.
Yeah.
L Filthmore, EL_Filthmore on all platforms. Patreon, Red Pillar, kcareyevolve.com, facts2020.org. All right, holla black.
We out here, fam. Peace.
I remember when life was better. I remember like I've been alive forever. I remember being born in abundance you never measure. Predecessor from the epicenter, the genetic mecca. I'm a representative of the metal netter. You dead if you never met her. The devil, he never fed her. I protect the treasure than the present center. Kemetic was never desert. Do the rain dance, make the weather wetter. A crown is a head antenna. Call me Imhotep, the architect. I'm clever, break a temple down and put it back together. I remember I was royalty, from the soil where the oil be. Never let the bigger man in me grow from the little boy in me. Been a victim of my loyalty, let my ego kill the joy in me. That's what ended up destroying me. I forgot the Lord anointed me. I forgot that I was God. I forgot that I was free. I forgot that I was king of the jungle until I remembered I'm me.